January 2025 saw some surprising sales trends, but one thing's for sure, Stan Lee's signatures are still king. We're counting down the top-selling modern age books, including some rare signed editions that fetch huge prices. Got that nice music going on, just
the smooth jazz.
Because I figured it's got to be Chartbusters. Get the smooth jazz. Okay, so the Chartbusters. What's the Chartbuster, guys? It's exactly what it sounds like. These are the Chartbusters from GoCollect. So I got this list from GoCollect, and what it is the top-selling books for each age of comics or era of comics. We're going to be looking at books, the highest-selling books for modern, the highest selling books for copper, bronze, silver, and even the golden age. When we get to the silver and golden age, these numbers are going to be amazing. When you see what's being sold in the modern age, you're going to see what's the difference here. And there is a difference. You had a quick peek at this list of these books, and we're going to be looking at top fives. We're not doing the tens. Based off your immediate reaction to it, what's your thoughts on these lists?
I think it's great. First, I love this title slide. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. I was most surprised, to be honest, with a lot of the modern ones because the prices were so high. I personally, wouldn't spend the amount of money that we're going to be seeing on a book that is that new. Yeah, I'd rather take it and put my money into the silver or golden age book. Yeah. It's going to be. I hope people like it because it's really cool to see all these books and the prices.
Now, a lot of these books were sold at heritage auctions. There are some eBay sales as well, so you're going to be seeing that in this list. And like you said, with the modern books, it's variants or sketches or something like that. When you get to golden, those are the actual golden books. So let's take a look, and we're going to start this off with the modern age Chartbusters. So this is going to be books that came out after 2000 till today. And if we start that list, we're going to start off with Wolverine 145. This book just hit that marker with 1999. It was considered a modern book, so I put it in the modern list. Wolverine 145. This is the silver foil variant. This is not the standard gold one. So this is a little different. And this is the return of Wolverine to Adamantium. This book sold in January 24th at an auction in eBay for $8,988. Almost. This is practically $9K as opposed to $8K.
I know, it's unbelievable. Like the cost of this book, again, like that's what you're going to see in this whole list of moderns, is because most of these people, everybody that's watching will have this book because it's a common book. Not this one, but the regular issue is. So amazing.
And the book that you're seeing is the book that sold. So this is a 9.8 CGC qualified grade. A qualified label is used by CGC for collectibles that have a significant defect that needs specific description. For example, a comic book with a missing coupon that otherwise grade 6.0 would receive a qualified grade, avoiding a considerably lower grade. This makes this a lot more interesting.
And I think what the qualified,
because it's actually green. It's not gray.
Yeah. And I think it should say on the label, because when an older book, not older, but older labels like this would usually have the reason on it. But I'm going to guess, so don't take this as the truth, but it's possible that it's because those claws on the regular edition are silver and there's a thing on them. And so maybe the green is because it's missing that. And that's what makes it rare, because usually a green label would decrease the value.
Yeah, and in this particular instance, because the claws are silver when they were intended to be gold, which now that you think about it, they should have been silver in the first place, right? Because Wolverine don't got gold claws, he got silver claws. Makes this more of a sought after book, and sought after in the sense of it's nearly sold for $9,000 after taxes. I bet it did. So a 9.8 in a book with silver claws where it was originally supposed to be gold claws, I could see that being a book on demand. And that's why we see that price.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit of digging after the show and look into this one.
Yeah. All right. Okay, next up, we got the next book in our list, and that is The Legends of the Dark Knight, issue 41. This is a special edition. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. This came out in 2019 for DC Comics. This sold at eBay at a fixed price of $10,000 on January 10th. Why is this book such an important thing? It is a Six Flags amusement park promotional giveaway, and it is signed by Jim Lee in a 9.8.
Again, 10,000 for this book, and like who knows how many copies there are, because those giveaways, people get them, and if they don't collect comics, like it's Six Flags, right? Mm-hmm. You have like 2,000 of them or 5,000 of them, and maybe 100 only make it because all the other ones end up in the trash.
Mm-hmm. Or they just get destroyed, all that stuff. But I wish I knew about this. I would have gone to Six Flags and get my book.
Yeah.
2019, I would have been at Six Flags in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah.
But wow. And then you got the Jim Lee signature that is verified to top it off. Somebody got 10 G's for this book. That's crazy.
Amazing. Good for them. And and like you said, this is January 10th this year. That's a month ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's when it sold, January 10th. The book came out in 2019. So, wow. And again, we're going to this is nothing, guys. If you're watching the live stream, trust me, this is nothing. We're just getting started with this list. Also $10,000, so it's tied for number 3. Avengers number 1. This is a sketch blank variant that came out in 2013. Why is it $10,000? And it was sold on eBay at a fixed price on January 22nd. It features a Stan Lee signature with a famous movie quote. I'm not 100% sure I could read it. That light that's in the way. All I see is superpowers is New York's give something book.
It's superheroes in New York. Give me a break.
Give me a break. Okay, so it looks like the word book instead of break. This book was signed by Stan Lee, and that's what's driving this book up. Somebody bought it for $10,000 as well.
Yeah, and amazing. Somebody actually got him to write that on there, which is cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess $10,000. If you had this book, would you sell it
for $10,000? I have Stan Lee signatures already that I think are a little better than a quote on a blank of a book that the book in itself is still cover price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now, Stan Lee's no longer with us. It is him writing a quote. So, yeah. I'll be honest. I don't think I'll have a heart to keep it.
It's tough to say. I don't have any Stan Lee signed books. So if it was my only one, I don't know if I would be able to part with it or not. Mm-hmm. If I had a couple others like you that were on different books, like, you get something like a Fantastic Four early book or something like that, or Spider-Man 1 or something, I'd sell this in a heartbeat to get a different book.
Yeah, it's just, for me, it doesn't have, again, as someone who has Stan Lee signatures, I guess that's part of it, right? I have 2 books that are signed by Stan Lee that I personally got signed, so I know it was done, so I don't need to be verified for that. And they have meaning to me, right? If it's a book that I obtained that was signed by Stan Lee, and I wasn't there to witness it, I don't think I'll have that same connection to it, if that means anything. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
And
for sure. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and if I know I could sell this book for $10,000, heck, I could use $10,000 right now.
Let's be honest. We would just buy a different book with it.
Mm-hmm. That might be signed by Stan Lee.
Yeah, that's Fable said he would sell right away. So I'm interested to hear what he would buy with the $10,000 instead.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at our next book. Another Stan Lee book. This is Amazing Spider-Man #1. This is the one that came out in 2014. This is a sketch blank variant. This is also signed and sketched by Stan Lee. This one went for $10,995. It was sold on January 16th, 2025 on eBay. This one is an outlier. So they made a note saying that they weren't 100% sure the authenticity, how authentic this book really is. However, it did sell for that price.
It's interesting they would say that because it's a verified book. Like they should have witnessed it. If it's got the yellow and yellow,
yeah,
then that means that someone actually watched him sign it or was supposed to. So that's interesting.
And I think what makes this book a little more sought after than, let's just say, the previous one, he did a little sketch.
Yeah. So you've got both those covers, number 3 and number 2. Which one do you take? Is he the quote or the sketch?
I think you already know the answer. I take the money.
No, if you had to pick one cover to keep, which would be your choice?
It would be this one. Because it's Spider-Man 1, it's signed, and 2, I don't really see Stan doing signatures. I mean, I do see them. What I'm saying, I don't see Stan doing sketches.
Yeah.
So, and a sketch of Spider-Man done by Stan Lee. You know, most people think he's the artist anyway, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stan remark. That's right. It's a Stan remark, and it's kind of cool. I like it. I really do. You ready for number 1?
I'm ready. Let's see it.
Amazing Spider-Man 667. This is the 1 in 100 Del Auto variant that came out in 2011 from Marvel Comics. This book sold at Heritage Auction on January 12th, and a lot of the books that we're going to see were at Heritage Auction on January 12th. This book sold for $28,800. This is the moment where your jaw drops.
Yeah. So this book is interesting because before I knew that it was a ratio, I was watching something and saw this cover, and it was just before I was using Cover Price and CLZ to link up to show the values. And I was like, oh my God, that book is worth thousands. And I ran, like literally ran to my collection and was like flipping through. Like, oh my God, please be there. Please be there. And it was just like when you collect and you're looking for that issue. I was like 667 or 663, 64, 65, 66. And I'm like, oh, 67. Oh, it's not the right one.
It's a 1 in 100. Right, so there you have that. There really aren't that many. On average, this book is $7,000. On average, it's a $7,000 book, unslapped, right? However, this particular sale was $28,000. A 9.6 just sold on January as well for $14,400.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I hate to say this. You way overpaid for this book.
Yeah, I would immediately sell this book if I had it, if I could get that much money for it. And plus, for me, that's US. So that's probably almost $40,000 Canadian.
Yeah. And you want to know something crazy? You're going to be shocked when I tell you this one. That's not the highest price of this book. The The highest price, the highest known value of this book, you ready for it? $43,200.
It's got to be in 2021.
It was 22.
Oh, yeah.
Why is this book such a demanding item? I know it's a 1 in 100. There's 28 sales of this book right now. So the book, I don't get it. It's not a key. It's all it is a cover.
Yeah. Well, and it's known to be like a ghost book, right? And I think that's kind of what's driving it. So when it always makes these lists, and then for some reason someone will buy one at a crazy price, and then it pops back up into everybody's kind of frontal lobe, and like us, and we're talking about it. But yeah, this book, it's crazy. I would sell this all day long. I would ditch. Not that I don't like it or appreciate it.
I've seen better covers. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I will take that same money and buy a low grade AF-15.
100%. That is a no-brainer all day long. I would love to be there to watch, like at a booth, at a con, watching somebody buy this book and just be able to talk to them and go, like, do you have AF-15 already? Like, are you just buying all the rare Spider-Man? Like, tell me. Like, no judgment. It would be no judgment.
You see, I'm the exact opposite. I'll be like Batman with that meme. Buy books that matter.
You couldn't do that because you might knock it out of their hand, and then you'd have to pay for it.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, there you have it. Those are your moderns. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight. And I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.